you afterwards too, and like that will help us both. And
I'll talk to Ginger after our boat comes today. I don't think it's a problem at all.
I said if not a big deal, but and then whenever you guys set up your coaching, same day, if I can, so that I can get practice.
Can you see me, Daryl, on the Christina, I just want to talk to you. We're just going to talk up here because why not?
Yes,
Because we're on Zoom.
that's
Gotcha. Okay.
We're just chatting. Yeah. So you're going to help manage the past presenter sign-up list.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And did you see that spreadsheet I sent you that was just blank?
I did not open. I saw you said it. I didn't open it.
Okay. So we're going to bring that to the meeting, and also just take notes and add to that list.
Okay.
And so today, since we don't have people that are and I guess we can ask Carmen. But we will, I'll ask as MC, or we can ask around, or past presenter, I want to get on the list to be able to get an update. We're going to start incorporating those in the last 10 minutes or so. So I don't know how it's going to play out, but we start to build
Like
lists.
name, email.
Yes, and so the other thing they'll need to do, which is important, is in our dashboard, we're tracking things, right? They'll have to go back into their 1 million cups profile and apply to present, and it'll show up as in our screen, it'll show up as
Present. Okay.
So right now we have Anna.
Because I saw that and I'm like, interesting. She's already presented,
But she's never presented to our dashboard. She just said prompt to present. Okay. So now she's in there. Okay. And I'm able to, we're all able to change their personal, they're either, they get two choices, either they're an entrepreneur or they're attorney.
Gotcha. So
I
I
can
can change it to be returning.
that, and now they'll show up somehow. And one of our data points is returning presenters.
So that what they do all that we normally do.
Yeah, but if we can just say, part of the requirement of being a returning presenter is to just go back into the 1 million cups profile and apply to present. It'll show up for all of us organizers as we apply, and we'll set you up as a past presenter and we'll get you on the list. And then the goal.
So then I guess we really don't need their
Well, you should get their name and phone number just in case anything's changed. And their business.
And
And then the last bit is just making sure as we pass the word about this, we really wanted them to come back and let us know that they completed 1 million performance. So that can be part of their presentation. So they know that. Like, they might just be like, when it comes time to build done all these things, but making sure they're thinking about
yeah, it's got to be done. Because that's the whole point of it. Is how did it help?
You're probably looking at a place where they look back. It's like,
okay. Thanks for standing up video with me. And I'll talk to Ginger after our meeting today.
That's good. Okay.
Anything else? Is Tony here too?
Yeah. I know, because I was reminding me of this morning. I'm like, 2 weeks.
Cool. So
see, it's easier once you kind of see what's going on and you understand, because you'll be looking at things and it looks 2D because it's 2D and it's space.
it shouldn't be a problem. You're gonna run it from there. It's morning. All right. How you doing? What's going on? Good. It's cold. We got cold out here. We got the big old cold.
You got that big coat.
Take forever to warm up.
Okay. That was pretty good here.
Couldn't do it.
This is joking. I get more stuff.
Yeah. I always laugh.
Go out there for hours up my pole and stuff.
My dad used to work at a community college.
So yeah, this, if we could get this happening,
It's up. So we're looking.
I just need to catch your
Okay.
Loving that pond, just making sure it's nice and smooth. He was happy with me with it. Yeah. But after he retired, he didn't want to do it. So anytime it's too cold, everybody goes
I wouldn't be around.
So do you guys come to this every week or?
Yeah, she's a volunteer. So she's on the organizing committee. So we're all here.
I try to, I think it's like 5 years, but are you guys doing the speed networking?
But he may be looking for us. So I'm gonna go back and talk to him and see what his thoughts are. If he says yes, then I will say Somebody wants to stay in that area.
I like the speed networking.
They're in a little office upstairs. So that's what
Okay.
they're here.
Where's that at?
I do that business, but I don't do it. So I did all the numbers for it, evaluation for all days, and then I do that. So that was how I started doing it, but I don't. I do that.
So we get there. We don't have anybody
I worked for a nonprofit, and we looked at it.
We've been in your office.
Right here. We are on YouTube Live. Oh, fantastic. Ian's back. Ian's back.
I'm unbundling.
Yes, and then the Zoom is introducing. Yeah, isn't it funny? You go to restaurants and you like in Michigan and everybody, you know, you have to give 5 minutes before you leave, and when you get in, to like
Yeah, we don't know.
take it all off. I've been noticing that a lot lately when I've been going out places. Well, thanks for making it into
Okay, that's okay. He's a construction expert.
Oh, yeah.
We're not asking
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. A building valuation, what I do.
We've been,
So it's
so we're
good.
smaller firm.
It's not
Apparently.
That's a great idea.
There we go. There it is.
Thank you. Excellent. So I see, before we had a wireless situation, I think it was with that one.
Yeah, I think that's like
Was it that or the camera?
I guess I could do it here.
So I think it, which is good in a way. But, especially with us, we think there's more routine connection and compliance with the option need. Remember though, instead of
they would say yourself a person that has service.
it's let me get at 10% that you go in. Yeah, it's like she said, someone to meet. It's always going like Canary or something.
Hey! Beast
I feel you, bro. I feel you. You and me both.
I got
It's good. Great.
Oh yeah, you're looking for my
I've been here maybe 3 times.
Are you a startup?
So, these ones are good. So when there's time,
Yes.
I'm just going to move this here because Mike's walking around. I just want to be sure this is my line right here.
You got it.
Thank you.
So you get caught up in like like happy piece. Like I said, solo.
Doing good, Daryl?
I am good. How are you?
What's right there, like residential tenants.
How we doing?
How are you?
Good, how are
Barry
you?
can't make it out today, it looks like, but
Yeah, but you're here.
I know.
That's very so.
Been good. I know it's supposed to be
Yeah, I feel like we've met before.
Yeah, I know we have, guys.
Yeah.
Because you were sending out like something. Yeah, I remember big guys. I remember. I don't remember always, but I remember you for sure.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
This is our 1 million. So this is our YouTube live stream. We kind of monitor the people that are up front, like are in the screen and all that. So we were doing it off the laptop. We're trying out the phone today. We'll see how it goes.
Great.
Feel free to.
The network.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing my legal stuff.
I cannot complain. Thank you so much for
Really sucks to get it. They call it the mailbox money.
I always like the social media.
So when there's an extra,
I haven't done it yet. I've got 2%. Some video stuff. I'm going I hit the creative button, but I didn't invoke it because I was doing it sometimes. And we had some ideas, great. We drove a number of tracks. I noticed how many people were like really quick on TikTok. I said, hey, go right here. I did it as a this is a higher
Space, I think, they don't have
It's converted to
This is our YouTube Live, and we're on YouTube Live. So just saying, if your buds are here, people might be on. So we have a YouTube Live. Steve Live is our presenter. And our next stick is
If we can do that. But
No, we have two.
water. I know, not young kids.
I usually just well, it's my record.
10 minutes plus. Just making sure you're still on the same page. I'm sure you have. I'm
I never got it. I used to do hockey.
Hi, I'm Steve.
David?
I've seen you around. Are you good? Are you busy right now?
No, I'm good.
Well, can I just show you what I do? Because when you see the presentation, you don't really get a sense of what it is. Just grab that little bit. This is very messy. So walk around.
And then we also and then on YouTube, we thought we were going to so we were like,
Right.
tried to shoot them.
Right.
That's what happened.
I'm somewhat familiar with augmented reality. I'm kind of early in technology because I've been consulting for 15 years. So, yeah, it's really cool. So,
Today is very chaotic,
Sure.
okay, but eventually we're going to have
yeah.
So when we get it organized, we'll be a QR code there, scan for upcoming events.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing on time.
There's a, can you have a card?
Yes, and if you see yourself on that.
That's fine. I can connect you on LinkedIn. So I did the LinkedIn post. Yeah, I'm going to post it.
So the Zoom is getting here.
So I can connect with you. Because you never know, I work with a certain restaurant. Maybe. Oh, yeah.
Test there.
Okay, so it's good. Yeah.
It's so rare that
I know. She'll go ahead. Yeah, do your thing.
So I need a microphone. Is that in that bag right there?
What?
Is that a microphone in that bag? Anyone? No? All right, let me check with Carmen. Test, test, test. All right, good morning, guys. Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for coming out here on a chilly day. We are going to get started, so if you need to grab some coffee or a donut, you're welcome to do that. We are going to get started here in a couple minutes. Thanks, everyone, for coming out here and braving the cold. I was not expecting my car doors to be frozen when I came out this morning, so just, but great to be out here to see you. All right, am I on the Zoom in the right spot, Daryl? Yeah?
You're perfect.
All
You're
right.
blocking the TV, but it's okay.
Blocking the TV. Okay, so we are going to get started. So grab the coffees. We are up in a new spot for most of us, so we're excited to be here in this space in Incubizo. Know that this is a working space, right? So if you decide to stay here and work after the meeting, you can work in this room. This is the only room you can meet in. Networking, because it is an open working space, we don't want to go too late this morning after our 10 a.m. meeting, so just a little bit of housekeeping there. All right, so we are going to get started, right, Daryl? So I'm
Ready?
go to the slides. Not changing. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. January 22nd, the day after all the planets aligned. And my name is Melissa Wilson. If you don't know me, you might have to change the slides for me. I'm one of the volunteer organizers here for 1 Million Cups. If you are an organizer here, a volunteer organizer, can you raise your hand, please? All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us here today. Carmen in the back there is also, and then Josh, who is running around here, also volunteer organizer. Now it's working. Okay, so we have our newest volunteer organizer, who's Ryan there in the back. Ryan, thanks for signing up to help out our committee here. If you are an organizer, you're either coaching the businesses like you'll see the business present today, or you're managing the coffee sponsors, or you're helping with a variety of other things. So we have a nice large group. Did I say Milton here earlier? I thought I said Milton, no? We have a nice large group, but we're always looking for organizers. If you ever want to volunteer to come and help out in our community, we're happy to take more volunteers on our team. The commitment is like one meeting a week. So we meet on Friday for an hour from 9:30 to 10:30 virtually, and we kind of get all our ducks in a row for this meeting today. And we talk about what our upcoming plans are, and then we come to this meeting today. And if you have picked the role that you want to work on, then that's the time that you'll be putting in. We like to say 5 hours or less. So some of us don't do 5 hours, some do a little bit more, but it's really not too bad, right? Christina, how is it? Is it 5 hours or less for you? It is. David, is it 5 hours or less for you? It's probably 5. Solid, okay. He helps us with the marketing, so you know how that is. We are also looking for presenters, but good news, our presenting pipeline, we call that, is full all the way till March 12th, or whatever the Wednesday is after March 12th. So if you're interested in presenting, like you'll see today, or you maybe have seen in weeks past, then go to 1millioncups.com/present. Know that our community is a presenting community. It's not a pitching community, right? So who in the room has been here before? Can you just raise your hand? Right, holding your hands up. So I just want everyone to see who's coming back, because we like to come back. We come back and hang out, and it's like a really friendly group. And then who in the room is here for the very first time? Can you keep your hands raised, because we have a little gift for you. So thank you for coming. David's going to run around something for you. 1 Million Cups gives us a little bit of swag that we can give out to our community. So we have got these for you guys, so you can now take notes if you'd like here on your own 1 Million Cups, with your own 1 Million Cups journal. And then the other thing I like to point out, because it's kind of helpful when we're in the room, is who has presented before? Who's presented their business before? Right. So for you past presenters, we have something a little bit new. As that organizing committee, we've been talking about what can we do to kind of refresh what our programming looks like. And I hear music. Is that? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the presenter's thing. There's like a whole cute sounding music up here. So the new thing that we're going to be introducing over the next couple of weeks is we're going to have past presenters reapply. So you have to go back, if you're a past presenter, go back to your profile and put in 1millioncups.com/present. choose our community, Detroit Metro, and that'll put you back in the pipeline. And on the organizing side, we'll be able to change you from an entrepreneur to a returning entrepreneur. And we're going to start queuing up presenters that can come back and present in the last 5 to 10 minutes of every meeting. So when you come to meetings, it'll be, what I'm doing now, and then we'll have our coffee sponsor who does get to pitch, and then we'll have our presenter who gets 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so to present their business. And for the new people, this is how that works. The presenter comes up, they tell us who they are, what problem they're resolving with their business, and where they are stuck as a business owner. Not that they need sales and investment, which is what we all need. That's typically how pitch events work, but that they are now a business owner and they're wearing 17 hats. And there's one thing they're doing right now that if they can't move past it, then it's hard for them to move forward. So this is what we're going to help them with as an audience. So when Stephen comes up today, he's going to tell us what his current challenge is, and then he's going to tell us what he has been working on to address the challenge, some lessons he's learned from what he has been working on, and then he's going to ask us as a community to help him with the questions specifically, right? So we'll be listening closely for that second round of questions, and then we'll just come up to the microphone so that you can offer your suggestions to the presenter. And just to be clear, they're suggestions, right? I have an experience with what you've asked us, or I have someone who I'd like to introduce you to. You still come up on the mic and say that, or I'd like to collaborate with you on this because it seems like, we 4 of us are trying to invest in the same thing, but maybe if we could band together. And you just come up and say it on the microphone for 2 reasons. 1, it helps the rest of the room to see you and hear you clearly. And 2, because we are recording today. So we record on Zoom and YouTube. YouTube Live is going now. It's vertical. It might not make it up on our YouTube channel, but the Zoom is working, right? Do we have anyone on our Zoom group today?
We do. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So for those of you on Zoom, thank you for coming. It's kind of a fly on the wall when you're on Zoom. You can put things in the chat to ask questions or offer support to the presenter. So just know that Daryl is here monitoring that for you guys. So thank you for coming in on Zoom. We did put that out on our socials that if people couldn't make it, like you diehards today, because it's 3 degrees outside, that you could come in that way. So thanks everyone for that. All right, so these, the second reason, yes, that we're recording so that the presenter will actually have a copy or some video of what they presented on. Probably mostly for the fact that it is hard when you're standing up here as a startup entrepreneur and people are giving you all this support and advice and it's going in one ear and out the other ear. So this video really helps our presenter. All right, does that sound good? I kind of did a good scenario on that. Okay, who has not been to 1 Million Cups before? Can you raise your hands again? All right. Did anyone have an idea what that was going to happen? Did you think what I just shared was what was going to happen here today? All right, so Kaufman Foundation is the group that sponsors us, right? Oakland Thrive, or is the framework. We're a licensed group of volunteers that produce this framework, right, for the Kaufman Foundation because in 2012, they realized that the money that they were investing in startup entrepreneurs was kind of dropping off and they weren't making any kind of a difference in keeping these businesses sustainable. So they decided to try a grassroots effort and go out to some local coffee shops in Kansas City, Missouri, that's where they're located, and just offer the opportunity for startup business owners to have a chat about who they are, what they're doing, and the problem they're resolving and where they're stuck. Instead of feeling the pressure of a pitch or networking or an elevator speech, you could just come and kind of talk. And then they sort of figured out how to get that into kind of a framework where they could just make it an hour-long coffee visit. So that kind of exploded, and now there's 125 communities all around the United States meeting on Wednesdays, always on Wednesday morning. As a matter of fact, Ann Arbor's group launched right out of here, right? So Ann Arbor also has a group. So does Kalamazoo. They meet monthly, and then Copper County, they meet monthly. So we found out recently that we have one of the states on the northeast side of the country that has the most communities here in our area. All right, I think that's enough rambling from Melissa, but we are continuing the 1 Million Cups meeting organically. We don't meet in a coffee shop, we meet in a workspace, but we are happy to have you guys network here afterwards for a little while, and then if you want to stay to work, this would be the space to work in. All right, I would like to now introduce Vicki, our coffee sponsor. So Vicki from the Market Shop, come on up. She's the only person who gets to present to pitch today, right? So if you want to sponsor coffee, just let Carmen or Josh know, and you can come up here and give a couple minutes about your business and do a pitch about your business. Thank you. You're very welcome.
So, good morning, everybody, and my name's Vicki Winkler. I'm with the marketing shop, and excited to be here despite the -4 degrees when I left. I come from Oxford, so it was just a couple degrees colder, I think, up there. So my company, the marketing shop, I've had it for 22 years. I have a team of 4 graphic designers, and we do graphic design and printing. So we do everything under that umbrella. So we do product packaging design, we do PowerPoint presentations, we do workbooks, catalogs, brochures, logos, and branding. And in particular, we love being involved in 1 Million Cups. One is because we love seeing startups getting their way in the world, and seeing them through to success. We have some clients that have been with us for 22 years, for 17 years, for 15 years, and we've seen them grow along the way. And so in particular, what we do for startups is we will help with logos and branding. We'll help with that first set of business cards. We can do PowerPoint presentations for pitch decks and other things that are needed. In the product packaging design space, for those that have a physical product, we have all the connections. While we just do the product packaging design, we have partners that do the actual physical production of the box, the package, the pouch, the label, whatever is needed for product photography. So we have a lot of connections. And what I always offer to everybody in this room who has a business or starting a business, that we are open to promoting everybody in any way we can. I do a ton of networking. I'm always meeting people, and I'm always keeping in the back of my mind, who I've met, what they do, and if I'm running into somebody that I can make a connection with or a collaboration with, a shout out on social media, a sharing of a post, we're always willing to do that because we really want to be the champions of small business owners and really see them succeed. So if there's anything that my team can do from a marketing standpoint, feel free to reach out. You can go to on my website, tms.marketing, and there's a contact us page. You can schedule a 30-minute brainstorm meeting, free, no obligation, and just to pick my brain, any ideas that you might have. So I'm glad to be here, and then thanks for having me speak for a couple minutes.
I was all ready for a full 5 minutes. Thank you. I didn't realize I was in the back of the room. Okay, we are going to get started with our presenter day. It is 9:12, and then we are working on getting something on the projector, right, Daryl?
After the presentation. Yes, I'll do that after.
You can have the mic right now, Stephen Black. So I'd like to introduce Stephen Black, whose company is called Maith, and he's going to begin his presentation now.
Okay.
You got to carry the microphone.
All right. I'm going to talk real loud for 1 minute. My name is Steve, and I'm going to do something very strange, okay? Okay, can anybody tell me what I just did, besides look funny? Okay, I'll tell you.
Microphone, please.
This is the history of media. Can everybody hear me?
I know. It's
This is the history of media. Printing, flat, one dimension. With electricity, we had radio. We could hear things. What was next? Television. We could see things. After that, we had the computer. We could interact with the internet and communicate with the world. Now, I'm here to tell you about spatial computing, meaning space. I hope all of you can see what I was doing with the phone before. I have content, I have images here in space. Now, if you saw it, you understand. If you didn't see it, you're thinking, well, I kind of get it. But I hope before you leave that I can let you all see what I'm doing with the phone. Okay, now I'll start with the PowerPoint. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming out. I know it's cold. So my name is Stephen Black. My company's called Maith. I'm keeping this very fast, but Maith is a Gaelic word meaning clear. However, if you speak to Gaelic speakers, some of them say clear, some of them say good, some of them say very. Doesn't matter. Company's name. Okay, Maith creates digital content. JPEGs, videos, 3D models, audio, video, and specializing in augmented reality. Now, those of you that have seen with the phone what I do, you'll understand that this bagel is actually floating in space. If you have your phone, you can see the bagel. I actually have some bagels floating in the back of the room if you want to see them later. These photos were taken in Toronto and they're displayed in front of a museum. So if you're going by the museum, you don't see anything unless you have the phone. You have to look at things through the phone. This is in Norway, pictures of Clarksville, Mississippi. Again, looking at them through the phone. He's looking through the phone and smiling. Okay, next. Oh, do I do that? Okay.
Hang on.
Oh, okay. I'm used to having it. So there are bagels flying around in the back room. There's actually a capybara in Ann Arbor. I presented in Ann Arbor, and I had a Jeep, and I had a cat and a capybara. A capybara is like a little animal that walks around, and that animal's actually in the back room if you want to see that. So it could be anything. If you have a JPEG, I can put it in right now. I have a video from Tatiana. Tatiana is a web designer, and she helped me last week. No, she presented 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, she did.
She presented 2 weeks ago, and we have a little video of her floating in the air. I'll show you that. Okay, so AR is new, but I committed to it in 2015. And there's a long story there, which I won't go into. I've talked at MIT twice, New York Tech Week, something called Paris. This is Paris Augmented Reality Influencer Symposium. View is a conference in Italy. This is in New Orleans. This is an exhibition about soda bread. This is Bubico. I can talk all day about Bubico. She's saying Happy New Year. She has a blimp. So this blimp, if you had the phone, you could see her flying in the stadium. And that was a test. All of these things are tests. And I'm laying a groundwork for a business, but there were some technical reasons why I could only do tests. It didn't make sense to start a business. Okay, next please.
You got your LLC in August of 2024.
Right. So this is in Norway. I don't know if any of you know Can't Heat, but that's the guy that signed Can't Heat and the Doors and all those. That's him. This is in a guitar shop in Norway, and we're showing a music video, and this is the guitar store owner. And this guy was so interested that he just looked in. Again, that's New Orleans. New Orleans, at the Irish Cultural Museum of New Orleans, I did an exhibition about soda bread. So these posters talk about the history of soda bread, and there are soda bread photos and pieces of soda bread flying around in the air. Okay, next. So what I've learned, product safety. Now, the one thing when people are holding a phone, two things. You don't want them to walk into a car. You don't want them to fall off a cliff. You don't want them to do things like that. And the other thing is, you have to be very respectful. If I'm pointing my phone at you, and I'm actually looking at content, and somebody's here with the wrong girlfriend or boyfriend, they would get angry, right? So you want to avoid stuff like that, because it looks like you're photographing them. So you ought, I can talk all day about that. Anyway, the AR backend means I've learned what I need to do on my side in terms of managing the content, delivering the content. Public response, so far it's been very good. The only problems I have sometimes are Wi-Fi. And personal space, again, that's the idea that you're not pointing your phone in front of somebody's face. Phone compatibility, iOS, Android, so far so good. And the challenges of location. Sometimes glass is a challenge, and actually this wall would be a challenge because there's no contrast. But anyway, I've learned a lot, okay? And the networks. This is in Ann Arbor. I put in a Jeep, a cat, and a capybara, and Melissa saw that. And you could walk around it. Again, this is the issue of space, why I was going like this. Here you look, oh, that's just a nice photo. But if you were here with your phone in Ann Arbor, you could walk around that Jeep. And I have a Jeep in here somewhere. I need to find, I haven't had time to test it. With Josh's permission, I will be putting up some more things here as time goes on, if he's okay with that. Okay, next one. So, again, Ann Arbor. This is Ginger, who started here. I guess she trained here. And these are her photos. She's a photographer. So we put up a photo exhibition and then did our group portrait there. Okay. So, I I need support. Administration right now, I've been doing 10 years of testing and it's been great, but if I get clients, when I get clients, I'm going to have a lot of data management. You know, not just billing, but also the way it would work is a place like this would either, well, first I have to prepare it technically and there would be a charge for that. Secondly, there has to be content. There has to be things for people to see. I can bring in my own things, my own artworks, my own photos, but imagine you came here and you pointed your phone, upcoming events. Everybody here that has a business could have their business card there. So that's going to be management, data management. And then I need to figure out how to do the pricing. So that's basically it. Those are my challenges.
Go to the next slide.
Um,
Now, how have you addressed it? How have you addressed it?
if I what?
How have you addressed your challenges?
Okay, what I'm thinking, market research, you know, how do I educate people? Because to really understand it, you need to experience it. You know, I could talk all day about it. I could show pretty videos and pretty photos, but you know, now that some of you have seen it, you really understand what it's about. So that's a challenge. How do I create that in-person experience? And hiring, you know, eventually, I'm gonna need help. So what I learned, demonstrations are a must. People won't pay if they don't understand it. Once you see it, then you can make a decision. If you came in here next week or whenever and saw, oh, I see all these business cards, I see upcoming events in Incubizo and in the neighborhood, you'd say, oh, I see the value of it. Right now, it's all theoretical. And trust, that's the most important thing. People have to trust me. And I have to go slow in the beginning to make sure that everybody's happy, make sure there's no technical surprises. And that's it. Again, I hope you can all experience it before we leave. Can we switch real quick to the, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, read these out.
Okay.
This is the important part.
How can I develop a simple pricing structure? My best friend is here. I always just want to get to it and let people talk to me, but I should go slow. Thank you. Okay, how can I develop a simple pricing structure? That is very important. But again, until you see it, that's to me the biggest challenge. And how to maximize educational activities. So like this today, how can of course I will share it on my social media, but I mean, how can I take this experience outside of here? And then again, hiring admin people with limited funds. Okay, how to move forward.
And then the last slide.
And this is, okay, yeah, my contact information.
Did you want to say something about that one?
I'm happy to talk to anybody afterwards, photograph that. If we're okay, can I quickly?
Yes.
Okay, so I put together some content in this room.
Go ahead, you talk.
I think I can do it.
Oh, you can?
Okay. So, oh, sorry. That's right. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is very quick because I'm tethered here to this cable. But imagine you could go around this. You could go around this room. This could be a museum. This could be a shopping center. This could be a tourist resort. Any location that you can think of. Again, we're talking about space, not a computer screen, not a TV screen. So, for example, I live in Japan and I'm doing some project in Japan.
Sorry, we're just getting, you know.
That'll display on the TV.
Okay.
Now the
Okay, we'll get it. I lived in Japan. I'm doing some projects there. Maybe you saw that I was doing some things in Norway. Or maybe I mentioned. Oh, I see. We're on the TV. Okay, so I'm going to look here. So here's an example of chaos. Okay, if you can read this, this is a sake brewing tour, which is happening January 25th. So imagine I came into a hotel or a restaurant or wherever. I'm a tourist and I'm wondering what's going on. And there's a QR code that just says, point your phone here to see upcoming events. So this is, you know, sake brewery tour. I did have the barbecue for Incubizo, but that was passed. So scenes of Japan. This could be a map, how to get to this place. Food, restaurants. This is, can everybody see that? Okay, that is actually a restaurant in Norway where we put up photos there of the different dishes. And that's very quick. I could have put signs, I could have put prices, I could have put all kinds of information. Okay, and that's in a blues festival in Norway. He's happily looking at some things. Here's an example of the quality. I mean, I was very concerned as a photographer. I have a degree in photography. I've worked in video. I was very concerned about the quality. And this is, it's very good. Reproduces it very well. What else do I have here? Okay. This is Louisa, who presented a couple weeks ago, and I'm doing a test in her restaurant. So eventually, with the QR code, you can walk in and see some of the dishes there. We did some photography. That's her business, and let me show you some food. Again, the quality is really nice. Oops, sorry. Anyway, again, I hope everyone can come up and just look by yourself. Oh, a blueprint. So another use is safety. Firemen, electrical people, plumbers, if they're in a hurry, they need to know where the blueprints are. They need to know where the wiring is. If this were, at a location that could be shared, that problem would be solved. Okay, that's again in Ann Arbor. Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Carmen, thank you for the photos. You did a great job, and thank you for letting me use them. Who's that guy? Who's that guy? So that's what I mean. Imagine you come in here and he's presenting, and it says what his topic is, and a brief bit of information about his business and his contact information. That's the value of this, is that you can supply information in a new way.
Stephen, can you tell us how anyone in the room could do what you're doing right now? Can we do this today? Do you have to download an app, or do you have a QR code?
Eventually, just with the QR code, because of the new location of my schedule conflicts, I couldn't do it, but eventually there should be a QR code, and that's all you have to do. As I mentioned, I started this in 2015. We can shut that off. Again, I hope everybody can do that by yourself. When I started in 2015, there were so many technical hoops that I had to jump through that it wasn't possible to talk about it as business. And the bottom line for the user was you had to download an app. And unless you're offering $1 million prize or something like that, no one really gets excited about apps. But as of last October, that last challenge is gone. And I didn't have time to do it today. That's my fault, and I accept responsibility for that. But next time that you come in, you will see with the QR code different things that we positioned around the room.
All right, thank you. Thank you. That was really good. Something else?
No.
I'm going to take the mic for 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you. Okay, so Steve has presented like the educational aspect of what he does. Hope you guys understand. It's somewhat over my head, but the more I see it, the more I get it. So now, this is the fun part. Stephen, where is it? Can you come and like stand like right? I'm looking at YouTube Live. See my phone there? And we'll get maybe you don't have to stand in front of there, but anyone that can help with any of these 3 questions for Stephen as a business owner, come on up. I know you're new here, right? Yay, I'm fine. Okay, and so you're just gonna ask him the question and pass the mic back to Stephen and he'll answer. Come on, closer. Yeah. Because we have a YouTube room and they'll see you in there.
Awesome. So my name is Jennifer Beatty. I'm an HR consultancy agency owner, and I specialize in helping small businesses with this last one, hiring on a very limited budget. So a great option for this is to do a 1099 contractor initially, right? Because that is going to be kind of a little bit less expensive than a full-time employee. A full-time employee is going to have the cost of taxes and state registration and employee benefits. A 1099 contractor essentially takes care of all of their own taxes, and you pay them kind of a little bit of a lower cost. An even better option is going international. So I actually have international contacts that specialize in tech. I actually specialize in tech, so that is something that we can talk through. And international contractors, you can get exceptional talent for a very, very low cost. So I can definitely help you with that 3rd one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep, got somebody to your left there? Thank you, that was awesome.
Hey, Steve, again, we met last week, so good to see this presentation.
You
I
can
actually
say,
have more questions,
Fernie, you can
but-
say who you are and what you do.
That would be important, right? My name is Fernie Brown. I technology cybersecurity firm here in Detroit, so we do a lot with small business, actually business as a whole in terms of protection, technology support, from end to end. So, but I definitely resonate on this. I actually had a couple questions. One is it only based on the phone technology? In other words, can you use a tablet? Will it be using maybe glasses down the future or contact lenses?
Yep. Great question, thank you. Yes, tablets 100%. I'm very excited about the AR glasses, but the reality is that right now, everybody in this room has a phone. And there's gonna be 100 different kinds of AR glasses, and some are gonna work with this and some are not. And I'll deal with that as they develop. But for right now, the priority is just all the people that have phones. That was a good question. I'm sorry, what was your other?
The other one is, so from a utilization, so think about like billboards, driving down the freeway, interstate. Can this, when we talk about space, be able to handle that large space kind of element? Because that's a game changer for those in marketing. Like you don't have billboards anymore. That kind of technology, so.
Yeah, another very good question. It's case by case. Theoretically, as long as you have budget, you can do anything. In a case like a billboard, what I would want to do is, obviously with the billboard, you're talking about a lot of money to start with, so I would want to make sure that who's ever providing wireless or, the signal in that area is aware of this. Quick story, I went to, side digression. Bubiko is the little character, I don't know if you saw her. In fact, I've got some stickers if anybody wants a Bubiko. Bubiko is a little character that I developed. In the beginning, no money, everybody else has got degrees, big companies. We just had Bubiko, and I'll tell you that story later. Anyway, Bubiko is a little character, a little chef, and I wanted to put her in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I flew to New York specifically to do that. The day before, I test. There's a video on this online. I test, everything's working great. Bubiko's flying on the parade route. I go there the next morning, 5 o'clock. Part of the parade route's blocked off, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the parade starts. I find a spot, the test works. The parade starts, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm talking to the tech people trying to figure this out. And what happened now, of course, is that as soon as the parade started, 50,000 people started using the internet. So I'm panicking, not panicking, I'm just like, well, this is why I'm not doing it for a client, because it's my mistake. And finally, coming down, the last 3 floats are Santa Claus, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the Pillsbury Doughboy. And I'm doing everything. Suddenly, just as Pillsbury Doughboy's over there, these bagels pop up and are flying. Now, if you've seen the bagels in the room, you know what I'm talking about. So I've got photos of the Pillsbury Doughboy surrounded by bagels, and it looks like, oh, that was all planned, but it wasn't. That's a long answer to your question, but for a billboard, you obviously have to figure out how many people are going to be watching it and how big is it. Then it's just a question of who pays for it and making sure the signal is strong enough.
There it is, up over your head there, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that looks like it was planned. Those are bagels around the Pillsbury Doughboy, but that was second to the last float in the parade. So, thank you for your question.
Are there any issues with privacy laws in, regulations?
That's an excellent question, and the truth is, nobody's going to care about this until there's money to be made. So, if I come into a place and I do it, oh, no problem. Once there's advertising or a revenue stream, somebody eventually is going to say, hey, I own this building, let's talk. And I'm happy to talk to them. That's one of the things that I have to cross that bridge when I come to it. Because right now, I'm not going to go try and get permission for something that they don't understand, that isn't making any money. But that's also part of the business model.
I could let this one slide.
Is that advertising could be a form of revenue for whoever owns the property or whoever owns the space.
Hey, Steve, Curtis from Great Oaks Data.
I'm sorry, I actually have his advertising here somewhere. I'm sorry you didn't see it, but I did want to advertise him, and Tatiana's little video was over there too, so I'll show that to you later.
Thank you. So I did some research while I was looking at your presentation because we've talked a couple of times, and I've noticed that Amazon has an S3 bucket for you where you can actually take all of your content, put all your content inside of the S3 bucket, and then as opposed to you walking around the room, now for your spatial, you can use a LiDAR 743, and then the LiDAR 743 will allow you to, instead of walking around the room, you can sit at a computer now and take those images and then place those images around that same spatial parameter.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you.
so with that, and then with the data processing of, I think it's like at probably 6 cents a gig. So that would help you with, as opposed to hiring someone for a data engineer.
I see.
So,
Thank you.
no worries.
Thank you. No, it's a complicated issue. Here's one of the main issues that I have with Amazon, and there are a number of other great services. And that issue is that, like Facebook, like Instagram, all that stuff, once you start dealing with them, they do stuff that we don't know. And this system, it's me and my server, and whatever content you want to put in, and that's it. So there's going to be no reselling of data or anything like that. Amazon, of course, they're fantastic, but in this case, I'd rather just keep it in the house, so to speak. But thank you.
I am Lisa Minetti with Accelerate Associates. We show businesses how to scale. I'm also the owner of the Business Innovation Lab. We're a co-working and conference center in Livonia. So do you know who your ideal clients are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who are they?
Co-working spaces, restaurants, halls, like banquet halls or wedding halls. For example, I did something at a wedding bridal show 2 weeks ago. There were 100 vendors there. I took photos of them, and now I've collected, with their permission, I'm now going to show them in the venue itself, right? So if you come in there and you say, oh, I'm doing a bridal thing, they can say, oh, look, there's a bartender, there's a DJ, there's a dressmaker, et cetera, et cetera. No, here's the QR, all they need is the QR code. So it's those sorts of services. Actually, a waiting area is another perfect example. That's the space that we can utilize.
Okay, so bigger commercial spaces. Okay, so in terms of your question, how can I develop a simple pricing structure? So number one, get really clear on who your ideal clients are. Two, look, and this is just for everybody, to look at, in your pricing structure, look at who is ready, willing, and able. Okay, and work with some of the case studies that you have, so you can then measure a return on their investment.
Yes.
Have you considered that?
Yeah, that's the thing. I've done all these tests, but I'm always inviting myself to the party. And now that I'm starting to get traction, I need to develop that data of how many people actually clicked on it. And that's what, so again, I'm gonna have to keep inviting myself to the party until I can say, hey, look, this was up for 1 month, 2,000 people looked at it, everybody involved was happy. Then you're in a position to negotiate. I understand it, thank you, but you're right, I need that data.
Yeah, so that would be a great place to start, but also look at a potential collaboration partner that could either help fund and also consider there are a lot of grants out there for tech startup.
Yeah, thank you. Brilliant, thanks so much. I also have to say that again, until last October, it was always a question of downloading an app, and that's just the kiss of death when it comes to this. So now that it's just a QR code, I can, hit the ground running hopefully. And I need to get that happening here with Josh's permission so that other places, if you'd like, put it in your place, let's talk.
Good morning, John Hay from Jag and Detroit Podcasts. First, I want to give you credit for the point that you made about having to educate people, because what you're doing is so cutting edge and it's so new, and I think it's hard for a lot of people to get their heads around what it is. It's really going to be coming in the next few years, and we kind of saw that with podcasting 10, 15 years ago. What's a podcast? Why do you podcast? Now probably everybody in the room either has a podcast or knows a podcast. My suggestion for you is a contact. Her name is Michelle Armstrong. She works with Tag Multimedia. She does a lot of stuff in the augmented reality space, where what she does is she creates an avatar for your website to interact with your customers. I don't know if you would be competition or if you could complement each other, but her name is Michelle Armstrong. She works for Tag Multimedia. That'd be my suggestion to reach out.
Thank you,
The only
John.
reason I'm
Thank
not
you.
writing that down is because it's being recorded.
Exactly.
That's right.
Thank you. He mentioned avatars. Now, again, when you come in here at some point, I hope we have an avatar. An avatar is a 3D representation of a human being. It can be very simple, it can be cartoony, or it can be photorealistic. So if she's doing that, it would seem like there's a match there, because I'm doing it in location and she's probably doing it on the web. So there we go. Thank you.
This is a question because some of this almost went over my head. So this is a question. And if this is not what you're doing, shut it down. And that it's fine. So my question is, could you utilize this taking like PNG, like transparent images. Like I'm thinking of Josh building this place. Upstairs, there's a wall, or like we'll take people on a tour and he says, I can build you this, and it's only in his head. But if we had a photo of what it could be, could you utilize this with realtors and event producers and have these PNG files of these elaborate events and then show them through the space that way? Because I think if you could and did, like if that was what you showed me here, I maybe would have been a little more blown away in that way because that's my industry more so. But when you showed me Louisa's plate of food, then I was like, oh yeah, I get it. So, and I know that you showed us a bunch of different images because you have a bunch of different images, but when you're presenting, if you hole in on like, all right, let me take you through a tour through a restaurant, or let me take you through a tour through a building that we're outfitting for a restaurant or a event space or whatever. If you kind of zone in on it, then we're in a space with you versus like, what are all of these pictures?
Right.
So maybe that'll help us get in with you a little bit.
Again, Carmen is a photographer, and I want to thank her for that. And she made a good point. And I've been doing this for 10 years, and it's always a question of what do I show. So my approach was very wide angle. I mean, 10 years, I could have just come in here today and say, oh, I'm going to talk about music, I'm going to talk about food, I'm going to talk about hospitality or industrial uses. So she's right, and I apologize if I'm literally all over the place.
Cool. It's
But again, some people say, well, what's the advantage to a normal QR code? The thing is, you're trying to get a sale, you've got somebody that's got 5 minutes to look at a room, you just point them at the QR code, and they say, oh, there was a meeting here, oh, there was a this there, and boom, boom, boom. That's it. You don't have to go to the website. Websites are not going to go away. I mean, this is not a replacement, it's a supplement. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Ashley from Bluebright Cleaning Company. I just have a question for you. I was just wondering if any of those images are clickable.
Good question.
Excellent question. If there's budget, we can do anything. But for right now, you know, if there's budget, of course you can do that. In fact, with one of these, as you get closer to it, it will give it a like. But for right now, I'm just trying to keep it simple. But yes, that interactive is definitely in the pipeline and being discussed. Thank you.
Good morning, Steve. I'm Olivia, and I own an HR consulting company. I see an opportunity for you, a huge opportunity. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but maybe it'll expand your target. When I work with early career individuals, meaning I'm about to graduate from university or college, or I have just graduated, I'm looking to land my first job, universities have career fairs. And one of the strategies I always tell these individuals is be strategic in who you engage with. Select your top 5 companies that you want to target and have an interview with, and work yourself backwards. Start with number 5 first, so that by the time you get to number 1, you've worked out all your kinks in your pitch, and you're comfortable. The challenge becomes students only have limited amount of time because they're trying to go to these career fairs in between classes. I always tell them to look at who's attending, and if you can, figure out where they're going to be located in the arena where the event is taking place, so that you know exactly where you're going, and if there's a big line, you can then go to the next one on your list. So I see a huge opportunity to partner with universities when it comes to career fairs. They charge a lot of money for employers to come and attend. So they have the pockets, and they can differentiate themselves from the university down the street when they sell this to employers to say, we can give you the ability, and if you do the clickable piece, if I know I'm going to target GM, I know where they're going to be located, GM can then say, these are the positions or functions we're going to be talking about at this career fair. Huge, huge opportunity. I don't know if you have it on your radar or not, but that would be one of my suggestions.
Yes, thank you. Another thing I didn't bring are my experiments with trade shows. But yes, a trade show is fantastic example because they've got limited time. So if I scan the booth, if I prepare the booth, I put up their content, 3D model, here's our product, here's the information about it, here's a 15-second video. I've at least got them standing in front of the booth so that the other people can come up. And with just a QR code, boom, it can happen like that. Thank you. Again, I've got a few slides like that, but I didn't bring them. Thank you, very good idea.
Good morning. Loved your presentation. I'm Lynn Drake. I own a business called Compass Commercial and True North Publishing, which I talked about last week. You made me think back to when I started Compass Commercial. And I see something that I did that I think you're doing, and you might just, it took me a long time to get this in my mind. When I started, I went after everyone and everything. And there was no decision making as to where I'm gonna make the money. So then I sat back. How long does my transaction take? When I'm doing a commercial transaction, it can take 45 to 65 hours. So can I do a transaction that makes me $100? So then I'm like, okay, so if it's gonna take me 45 to 65 hours and I wanna make $500 an hour, I need to do a multiplication. Then I need to find out what companies can afford to pay me that amount. So I don't know if you've done that, but it helped me tremendously. And then once you have your ideal clients, then go after them. Anybody else that comes to you is great, gravy, but look where you can make the most money. And I am not in your industry. I would think museums would love you. Just my personal thing.
Thank you. I mean, you're absolutely right. Again, one of the issues is that I need, the chicken and the egg. I need to show how it works before I can, talk about serious money. It's happening now. This is all very chaotic, but in the next month, it's got to be bullet points, museums, trade shows, bridal halls, all that stuff, so that I can catch the fish that you're talking about. Thank you.
15 people here.
You've already proved it.
Well,
you don't have to prove it. You are proven. Can we see this? This man is proven.
But it's to the people in this room. If I showed you those slides out on the street, they'd say, "Oh, so what?" That's the reality.
But that's not your client, those people on the street.
Right, but
There's
those
somebody-
clients need numbers. But thank you. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Thank you all. These are great points. Thank you.
My name is Roland Henderson, and I'm a life and executive coach. To speak a little bit about a couple of things that people have said earlier, but to start with the point about simple pricing structure. There's something in the magic of threes, and one of the things you want to think about is what's your intent in terms of going into it. So find out as much as you can about the customer going first, and then have a target in your mind in terms of what you want to do. So you may not be able to, get as much information as you can and figure out, well, what's the price range that makes sense for this? So now you've got 3 price ranges: supersize, medium, and cheap. And I would, going to the point that Carmen made also, even when you're doing this presentation, make it simple for us. So have like 3 examples, and then that way people can digest it, they can understand it, and because people want to support you. I mean, because I can tell everybody in this room is like, oh, that's awesome, but I was like, what the hell he's talking about? So that's what you want to do. So keep in your mind first, I know what I want the outcome of this to be. And then once you do that, now you're stepping in front of the room and you're confident. And now everybody, not only do they understand it, they want to buy from it. So thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bridget Millar. My company is called Unmuted Consumer Insights, and we are a full-service market research firm. So you want help with the pricing structure, and I would love to help you, but I think I'm in the minority here. I don't get it. I don't know why I want to see a bagel floating in the room.
Right.
And with your example of the parade, if people didn't scan the QR code and they're not looking through the phones, how would they have seen your bagels with the Pillsbury Doughboy? And then also the example of the restaurants, like, we're used to scanning QR codes. I can see pictures, I can see the menu. So I'm really struggling to understand what it is that you deliver, and I don't mean that critically. So I think, your second bullet here, educational services, I think you need marketing. Like, it's a communication breakdown. I think a lot of us can understand augmented reality, but it's more of how you're expressing it that is the disconnect. And then once we understand what it is you're doing, I would love to help you with pricing, because really the pricing is a function of, like somebody said, your time and the hours and things like that, and looking at, what you need to make, but it's also the value that you're bringing. So you mentioned this doesn't replace a website, it's not replacing, it's in addition to. Most companies, their budgets have been cut. So we've got to understand the value that it's bringing, but I would love to help you, I'm still missing it.
That's a very good point, and thank you for that. I'll give you an example. There's a company in Detroit called Rave Computers. Rave Computers partners with the best AR headset in the world. They're like $20,000, and at Oakland University, they've got a setup there. What they do there is, you're looking at one of their clients, besides military and government, they have a Mercedes. And when you put that headset on, you are looking at a Mercedes. They can't bring a Mercedes to every location. And it's so real. And I talked to the guy from the company that makes the headset. It's so real. When people put their hand in to look inside the car and they fall on the floor, it's that realistic. So in that example, if you have a complex piece of equipment, expensive piece of equipment, it could be right here. All you need is the QR code and you could see that car. Melissa saw a Jeep. So yes, I need to refine more examples, thank you, but there's just a lot of cases that I need. Like if you came here 2 weeks from now and you saw a guide to all the rooms, a map.
Can you wait 1 second? Yeah.
You saw a map of all the rooms, what services they had, a short video, there would be value to that.
I'm gonna sleep the mic.
Yep.
All right, I'm doing a little MC overtake, just really quick. So, Stephen, you're doing a great job answering questions, but really, if you just say thank you, I get it. I know I need to explain it more because we want to get the rest of the people to give you Q&A. And I wanted to ask you for a little bit more of your expertise. So when I was coaching Stephen, it's difficult because he's got a lot, he's super brilliant, he's got a lot going on. That's why he made that statement about, I gotta ask Bill Price. Because I keep telling him, you're not a business until you're selling something. Does it sound like he's selling something? He's over-explaining and telling us and teaching us all the time. So I asked one of our experts at Oakland Thrive to try to come to teach him or learn how to provide some market research so he could get his 3 price points that the coach was speaking about earlier. So can you just advise a little bit on how market research works to help you get your pricing? Is that a thing or not a thing?
You may talk, you're the expert. And you can
It's not an easy thing, which is why so many people struggle with it, but it's really understanding who your target market is and what they're willing to pay. Yeah, which, a restaurant, especially if it's, a small local restaurant, is gonna have a much different budget than a museum that somebody else recommended. So I think you've got to come up with a focus. You have a million ideas and opportunities, so focus in on one particular area and then expand. Because obviously you can expand into a lot of things, but to start off with, I think narrowing your focus, then we can back into the pricing.
Thank you.
I agree.
There's behind you. Yeah.
I agree 100%. Thank you.
So we have about, we have till 10. We have till 10. Just letting everybody know, we're gonna work on it.
So Vicki Winkler, the marketing chef, y'all heard me present. So I think that goes right along with what you said, is that it comes down to the pain point and what is the problem. Because no business owner wakes up and if their day and what they're thinking about their day and they have no problems at all and there's no problem to solve, they're not gonna spend money on it. So that's it. Think about what is their pain point. Maybe it's
I'm not getting enough engagement. I can't find a way to get people through this thing to explain, to show them. And exactly what you're doing is showing people something that can't be shown on a website, in a brochure, on a sign. So it's something that involves maybe activity or faces or people or events, or things that aren't happening in that space at that time, but that you are finding a new way to engage people. And so that's what they want. So if you can say and show them that, and it doesn't necessarily need to be that. I guarantee that you're gonna get more sales the day that you start using this, but if they can see it and they can visualize how it may help, because then all of a sudden they're gonna say, oh my gosh, this is something, this is a missing piece, that this might be able to help. And there's always missing pieces. And there's always new things coming on the horizon. So again, somebody who's gonna be willing to innovate and do something new, but again, it's gonna come down to, if I don't have pain, I'm not gonna spend money on it. Just because I wanna be the newest person on the block that has something new, so.
Thank you.
I've got an online comment here real quick I'd like to share. So Terry wanted to expound on the career fair idea. She said employers can entice candidates by showing a visual display or an AR display of the type of work that occurs in their organization featuring real employees. So you could embed a video that they could see when they scan on that QR code to see what goes on with it, either as they're waiting in line or as they're having this conversation with this person. So that was one of the suggestions as well.
Thank you. Again, 15-second videos, 30-second videos are really a sweet spot because you can communicate it a lot. Just scan the QR code, boom, there you go.
I appreciate you doing this because technology sometimes can go quickly over somebody's head, so I appreciate you missing the box. But a couple points. One is it possible, so if, let's say, for example, I walk in this building and it's one of your clients, one is how do I know? And what I'm getting to is the branding element. So maybe think of like the whole wraparound of branding of all these buildings are clients, because you don't know until you walk into the building, right? That is enabled. So I think that's one thing that'll get it out there, is where the locations are, what it's about. The other thing too, from the sense of like the career fair, so it's not a point in time, and here's what I mean by that. The career fair is today, but if I came back a week from now, it still could be today. Meaning, say I could just scan it. So I think that's the messaging, going back to what other people have said, is getting that across, because that challenge, that impact, that whatever is, yeah, we could walk in here next week and see the same thing, theoretically, right?
Yes.
All right, so pricing point, the other point is, you could break it down by content. 3 depictions of a QR code is this cost people, because it lives forever. You can. 5 of those is this cost. So if you break that pricing tier down with the explanation and the branding wrapped around that, you can get there.
Thank you.
And pass the mic to,
Oh.
yep, Stephen, we're just gonna let these last couple go and you can soak it in, soak it in.
You need a brand.
Hold the mic up.
You need a brand.
There you
need
go.
a brand that everybody knows. Because if I know whatever your logo is, anybody who got Nikes, everybody knows what Nike is, right? Everybody knows, you need her for marketing. You need the HR lady. It's like, I'm sitting back there going crazy because everybody's here that you need, but your brand can't be small.
Right.
Your brand, I mean, because you want your brand to be so large to the point where I can pull up to this building and be like, hey, yo, oh, let me just scan this, and I know what's going on. So don't think small. I know right now you're thinking small, don't think small. Because when you think small, you're doing yourself a justice. But here's the thing, you need her. You need her. Where's the other HR lady? You need her. And wherever I go, if I see your brand, I know.
Okay, here's the thing. If you check on LinkedIn, my New Year's resolution on LinkedIn, before the end of this year, 50 million people will know what Maith is. Thank you. And then, once that happens, I can hire and get marketing and the whole bit. But for now, it's got to be me on the ground.
Hi, it's Ashley again from Bright Cleaning. I just wanted to say that your idea has already been proven. If you look at Pokemon Go, that was like a huge thing back in the day. So I feel like there's a couple things I want to say. One I say is I think that you need to just partner with a strong, recognizable brand. And once you do that, then that can help you kind of like determine maybe your branding as well, because they'll kind of partner with that in their mind. And then the other thing for the pricing structure, I would say the pricing structure is really going to depend based on what utility you want to offer to people. So each utility is going to be different. Like you can't charge a restaurant like thousands and thousands of dollars for offering them an interactive clickable menu that you click on the menu item and it shows you what it looks like. But you could charge an architectural company who's building big commercial spaces like many thousands of dollars because they would have that budget. So I think like to piggyback on some of the other people's comments that you just need to pick what utility you want to offer to the market, and then you can kind of understand what structure you want to have with that.
Yeah.
Okay, pass it to John. Okay,
I guess we're rushed for time.
last one, yep, last one.
Last piece of advice, and this may come off wrong, and if it does, I apologize. But
It's all good.
in my past life, I was a radio DJ. One of my early mentors taught me Walmart, Walmart, Walmart. So what do you mean? He goes, the joke you made on the radio, think somebody walking into Walmart's going to get that joke? If not, don't make the joke. So what I mean for that for you is, and it's really hard given how technical what you're doing is, you got to work, I think, on an explanation of what you do that the average person walking into Walmart in Commerce or wherever is going to get. And again, I'm not trying to, be pejorative to anybody who shops at Walmart, but and the average person, KISS, keep it simple. Try to, really, forgive the phrasing, but dumb it down as best you can. It's really hard what you do, but I think that's going to bring, to the point earlier about it's hard for some people in the room to get their heads around what this is. Focus on your pitch and how to really, really simplify things.
Thank you. I just want to say the bottom line is that people have to experience it. And I'll give you an example. She mentioned Pokemon Go. That is because Pokemon had track record of success, $1 million business. No one says, oh, Pokemon AR. They say Pokemon Go. Quick example. I'm looking right here at the QR code. I don't know what Your Wellness is our business, but if I pointed my phone at that QR code and saw a 15-second video, boom, it's either for me or it's not. But you're right, keeping it simple. I try to, but bottom line is physical, in real world presentations have to be the way to build a business. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephen. That was very, very educational. And although it may have been over some people's heads, we understand the technology.
Well, again, if you can try it, I'm here for a while, you can try it, then you get it.
And it's great to see so many out this morning. It's freezing cold, but thank you so much for coming out. What do you think of our new space? Thank you, Carmen and Josh, for working hard to get this prepared in such a short time. It'll get better as we go along. We had to really put this together real quick. Just want to say thanks again. Open Thrive really appreciates everyone who's out. If you are a B2B partner of Open Thrive, please raise your hand. These are the resources in the room that we provide for small businesses to help in areas such as lease negotiation, helping with marketing, helping with market research, understand who your customer is, and you're focused on that customer. Marketing is what every business needs. If you need to get ready to put a loan package together, to go out and find investors, or to do crowdfunding, or to find loans for your business, we can help with that. These are the types of things that help small businesses run. And Melissa mentioned earlier that most grassroots organizations that help small businesses would love to write checks to everybody, but that's not what makes businesses run. It's that knowledge, it's the expertise. It's finding a community of support to help you to make your business grow, to pass on that generational wealth, to keep businesses growing. And we want to make sure that Oakland County is the #1 place to start a small business, not in Michigan, but in the entire country. And based on the people in this room, we know we're doing our job. So thank you so much for coming out. Coming up in the next few weeks, these are our presenters that are coming, Insert Solar Lights. I'm really looking forward to that one. That one's going to be kind of fun. But also, other small businesses. We have an opening on March 19th. If you have a small business and you want to come and talk about your challenges, just like Stephen, see one of us organizers. We can get you on the list. We'll coach you through. We'll help you with your presentation. We'll make sure that you shine just like he did and get the support from all these wonderful people in this room. And just real quickly, there is an event coming up that if you are a small business that is customer facing, what is the #1 challenge of small business, especially restaurants? Customer service. Being Chick-fil-A. think of the customer service. If you want to learn how to increase your customers, how to get more people through the door, how to better take care of your customers, this training is coming up. It's through Zing. This is a $325 training for $25. And we offer free lunch. So if you want to sign up, there are some flyers on the desk. It's $25. It's February 4th. And the location is, I believe it's the Southfield Marriott, but this is a great training program. If you Google this training, you'll see how many people signed up. We've got almost 100 people that have signed up so far. So come join this training. Also, go to oakland.org/events. We've got some other upcoming events. They're all free, and they're all done by our partners, again, to help small businesses. I'm done. We're going to do a group photo. Carmen, where do you want to do a group photo?
Down here, this here.
Okay.
Right up here. On this side of this black table.
And just real quickly, thanks again, Josh. We're going to wrap up the networking portion quickly. If you want to work here all day, you absolutely have the ability to do that. Grab a desk in this room here, grab a desk, plug up. If you need the code for the Wi-Fi, come see us. We'll get you that. Thanks a lot. We'll see everyone next week. Let's do our group photo. And thanks for coming out.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for breaking. There is a speed networking event tomorrow at Bamboo in Royal Oak that is being managed by Oakland Thrive. So if you want to do some speed networking with anyone here, go together. We gather together for a group photo for you new folks up here.